Hello everyone and welcome back to Lakeburg Legacies, where we've just got our king installed. We're starting to earn some tax money, which is useful. And we have a child, an heir to the throne, Edwig here. Esther and Godwin don't really get on, so I don't know if we're really going to have that many more heirs. So we'll have to see how that goes. In the meantime, we need to keep working on our production. We need to get fruits in stock, we need to get jewellery in stock, and also we are struggling with our wheat and especially our leather production. So I'm going to get time ticking on here, and while that's happening, I'm going to try and work on increasing production here. But that's a lot of money to spend to get some additional leather in. But the problem is the people who work together in the hunter's cabin, Rose and Sabine, do not like each other. There's a bad ambiance here. This is all the I see. This is all the builder's tickets are for. I guess they're kind of upgrades or something similar to that. We could maybe think about getting a new couple in and put someone else in the hunter's cabin. We do have, to be fair, we do have Alasdair, who is now how old? He is 15, so actually he's not going to be too far off going into the hunter's cabin. We do also need to think about the farm as well, who we don't have an apprentice there. We could put someone, we could put Sigrid in, but she's already here. Can put Milo in, but we currently moved him over to the builder slot to earn us one of these building tickets, whatever they do. But I'm also going to just increase the time slightly so it doesn't take quite as long for the builder's tickets to come into play. I think what we are going to do then is actually see if we can get one more person in who's kind of a farmer or a builder or a hunter, someone who can provide us more leather, because we seem to be using leather for a lot of things, and potentially we don't need both Bridget and Evander in here, but still we might want to think about increasing that slightly. Melusine, we're going to put her as a hero priestess when the time comes, or potentially a new queen should the need arise. She's not a lumberjack, but I suppose we could actually move her over to... If we moved her to the hunter's cabin, is she any better there? She's got a star and a half here. I'll move her in here. That at least produces us some leather for the time being. Puts us just about back in the positives, but really I think we want to think about finding someone new. But none of those are kind of what we need at the moment. But by putting Melusine back in, we've kind of sorted out a problem there. That being said, we do need to still sort out our farm problem. So farm and leather, that's the two real big things. And potentially a lumberjack in the future as well. We'll have to see. But we have a new baby. The Orwin family. Orwin family, where are you? Kathleen Calanthe and Emma have had Yuli. And Yuli would be a good... That's probably not... Possibly Julie. I don't know why I went all kind of forward there. Yuli. A dancer, an actress, and a merchant. Okay, we'll have to see where we want to put you in time. Do we put Edwig into a profession, kind of like an apprenticeship scheme, or not? Also, Florrie's come of age. She'd be a decent knight, a decent lumberjack, a decent merchant. Well, we'll put her into apprentice with the lumberjacks. We'll put her in here with Bruce, and she can become one of the new lumberjacks in time. That's useful. But yeah, I'm wondering if we need to put, and in terms of Godwin and Esther, if we need to change anything there. Just having a look at the new... you'd be a decent hunter. Hang on, pause. Is it a hunter that we need? Well, presumably we need a hunter for the hunter's cabin. That makes sense. So I guess we will hire, or ask him to come along, Conrad. He's a noble, but because of the profession he works, he won't stay a nobleman forever. 138 gold, but I think it's worth spending that money to get another hunter in. We'll need to get him a house, a partner. But for now, Melusine, time for you to come out because you're not that good. Conrad will be able to do a lot more in here, which is good. And probably eventually what I'll do once Alasdair is of age, I'll take out either Rose or Sabine, depending on what else they could be doing instead. I mean, Rose could be a decent miner, and actually so could Sabine, so I'll probably put one of them over to the mines and then put Alisdair in. Melazin, you're kind of a bit of an odd part at the moment. I don't really know where to put you. Would you work in the... Okay, you wouldn't work very well in the pleasure house. We'll put you back where you were before. We'll put you back in the lumberjack station for now. It's really not right. It's really not a good place for you. But for the time being, I think we're just going to have to manage that. Right, let's get a new house built. Not in Bridget and Bruce's house, but we can build a new one. And in this house, we will put Conrad. That being said, we need to find Conrad a partner. So let's do that now. We're looking for maybe a lumberjack or a farmer. There's no one, obviously, in Lakeburg at the moment. We've got a few hearts to work with now. Baker, Queen, Innkeeper. But I want someone who's a decent match. Seamstress, Baker, Innkeeper. Seems to be a lot of Bakers and Innkeepers at the moment. This might work. Croupier, Merchant, Fisherwoman. I don't know if we need... I think we're okay on fish at the time being. Man of the Evening, Mason, Baker. Butcher, Taster, Teacher. Tinker, Tailor, Soldier and Sailor. Guard, Hunter, Assassin. We've got another Hunter now, so we don't need a fourth one. Bard, Fisherwoman, Teacher. Let's keep on going. Well, I'm sure we'll find some that we need. A lumberjack or a farmer. I'm sure they'll... Oh, you're a lumberjack, but you are not a good pair for each other. Neither... I mean, you're a farmer, Rene, but I don't know if you would really work with Conrad. So we'll keep going until we find someone. The problem is all the jobs that we need seem to be... Here we go, this is better. In fact, you're a farmer and a lumberjack, and also a gatherer. Everything you do seduces me. All you need to do is breathe, and I'll do anything for you. It's nice. So, they both like poetry, and they both dislike divination. Excellent. And dancing and fishing, mussels and feasting. But the main thing is they like poetry, and they dislike divination. Let's go on a date. They want to recite a poem, because I know they like poems. Talk about the sufferings of war. I think one of them likes feasting, so I'm going to talk about the sufferings of war. Wonderful. And I'm going to say mussels. No. But 2 out of 3 is not bad. I'll definitely take 2 out of 3. So, Conrad and Amabel, sorry, are going to get married. Wonderful. And we will put Amabel here in the farm. And that should sort out our vegetable and wheat problem. Ah, we have one of these builder's tickets now. I see. This looks like it makes things cheaper. Or I can use it to unlock one slot. Oh, I see. So can I just use that straight away? I'm not sure. What do we really need to increase production on? I think leather's okay now. But we might need leather for paintings as well. In terms of building, what's our next build? Oh, we can... So, I can either use the builder's tickets to make things cheaper, or I can use it to unlock a slot. Okay, that makes sense. We need a bunch of wood for all our buildings, really. So, really, I would actually could do with another lumberjack. But, unfortunately, Florrie's quite young. And Melizen is not a good fit at the moment. Because we're getting wood, but it's slow. It's a slow process to get wood at the moment. If we can find another wood person, that'd be useful. I'm going to barter with that gold. Because I wonder if I can upgrade this a little bit more. 892 gold. That would increase the wood greatly. That might be a potential. We'll have to see. I mean, presumably, we're going to keep on getting building tickets. So that would work pretty well. That being said, I don't think at the moment we particularly need a build. I think we'll hold on to the builder's ticket for the time being. But first, in heat. Tindra's Admirers Club have their hormones going wild, led with love by Bridget and Lorelli. whose motto is more love everywhere, all the time, and with whoever. Its members have a reputation for being rather friendly horn dogs. However, according to some villagers, their sense of sharing seems a tad too developed. So, Bridget and Relly, basically we can make all the villagers happy, and Bridget and Relly then evolve from insignificant to friend and a tad more, level 3 out of 3 in lust. Or we make people frustrated and make everyone calm and efficient. Sure. I feel like we need a few more children to take care of the mantle anyway, but this could be could go badly wrong. There's no way we'll dampen our fellow citizens' spirit. After all, it's a Lakeburg trademark. It's a shame about all the transmissible infections one can catch in the heat of the moment. Then again, you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. Love will conquer all. So yeah, our health gauge has not gone well. What's just opened up? I feel like something's just opened up. Right, entertainment. So we can go amused, bored, suicidal. Goodness me. So here we go. Here's the prank shop. Now, Melizin, would you do it in the prank shop? Come on, Melizin. Do something useful, please. 2 stars, that'll do. And that should help out with our entertainment. Excellent. Our health, however, is not doing all too well. The rodent's nest. Let's go have a look. How's old Sigisbert doing? He's widowed, which obviously isn't very helpful. He's still healthy for the time being. We might need to add someone into that mix. We also need to think about clothes. I think we can just up production. That should probably do enough. That fixes our problem there. Excellent. Now, wood we need to focus on. Any new neighbours? Oh my goodness, 2 years for the next neighbour. That's a long way away. We definitely need someone to take over the man. We need someone to put someone here in the wood. We could put Sigisbert back into the lumberjack area, and that might work, but then we need someone to take over the rodent's nest in the meantime. Can we put the king in? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? If we put the king in. Let's just pause briefly. Lorelli is a mason. We may not need all that we have. I think we still need the stone from the mine. From the mason's workshop, I should say. But I'm not sure we need 2 people on iron at the moment. So either Sybil or Cletus, could you come over to the rodent's nest, I wonder? Cletus or... Oh, they're not great. Cletus or Sybil? Cletus is a no-go. Sybil, 1.5 stars. Would they be better in the lumberjack lodge, Cletus or Sybil? And then we just leave Sigisbert there to die, really. Sybil, 1.5 stars here again. And Cletus is even worse. Okay. We might need to get 1 more person in, but the problem is every new couple we get in is more resources that we're taking up, and we are probably expecting quite a few children on the way after that event. So I think we're going to take Sybil. There she is. We'll take Sigisbert out of here. Also, Sybil's a little bit healthier. Although we are now in the potential flu range, which is not useful. But I want to put Sigisbert back in here because he produces an absolute ton of wood. He produces a great deal of wood, so I think that's important that we do that. I'm also going to increase the timing so they produce wood that little bit quicker. And then we want to, maybe if we get a rat trainer here, that would be useful. Because at the moment, we're still producing enough iron, and we're pretty much at our maximum. I don't think we need everyone in the mines at the moment. And I could always increase the stats to make things just work a little bit quicker. And when Alasdair comes of age, which he's not all too far off becoming, maybe Conrad, Rose, or Sabine we can move around to somewhere else, and that might help us. In the meantime, though, let's crank up the speed a little bit and see what happens. Because I definitely want some more wood. We're now getting 397 a year, which is useful. Oh, hang on. I think there was an issue up on the top there. The health gauge is going down, I see. Has reached 64%. So, but the entertainment's also going down as well. Come on. Where has she gone? Up here. She is just not a useful person at all. It uses gold, but it produces entertainment. I see. I think we'll be okay. At least we're not in kind of suicidal range. Now, do we want to increase taxes at all? Artisans, nobles. I think morale is okay at the moment. Yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, I'd like Godwin to be a benevolent king, but I don't know. How's he doing, by the way? He's a young parent, understandable. But we're getting there with him. Arguably, he's not actually... He's an okay king, but Esther is not that good of a queen. Apparently she's ugly. I'm not sure I believe that, but hey-ho. We'll keep time ticking along, and we want to get some more wood in production. A couple of years, but first of all, a new baby. Whose baby was that? The Wallace family. There's two Wallace families. That's confusing. Alana, also, male, is ready to do something. Gatherer, man of the evening, prankster. Is there anywhere we can put you that we could possibly do something useful with? You wouldn't be a bad fisherman. And Grace is now 54, so you can probably take over the mantle for her, because eventually she'll pass away. Yeah, we've got two Wallace families. That's interesting. Oh, it's because I think... Did they split, or did they just have the same last name? I think they might have just split. I think they might just have the same name. Let's go to houses, by the way, because I think some people are going to need additional rooms for their children. Some people, I think, are now too old to have children, but some people could definitely do with it. Pavetta, since when did you only have one eye? I think that was always the case. But yeah, some people are now getting on a bit. They don't really have a wish for another baby because either they're too old or they just don't simply wish for one, just due to their age or just because they're traits as well. They might have had a heartbreak and that might be too much for them. They're obsessed with... Okay, Oriana and Bahia are obsessed with the baby. We should probably give them another slot to do that. And Rolf... they wished for a baby. There's a space for them there, so that's okay. The Ashdowns, they don't really wish for a baby. Sybil and Grace, I think, are too old. They don't have a wish for a baby here. Calanth and Emma. But I'm going to give them a slot because I think that's only because they're new parents. And so let's just double check I haven't made that mistake elsewhere as well. Because I might have done. No, I mean Rose and Sigrid are actually too old, I believe. Okay, I don't think I've made that issue anywhere else. But I will give Hubert and Cletus one because at some point they might want another baby once their kind of traits are back to the norm again. I expect a few extra babies after that last event, so I'm just trying to prepare for them. 30 rocks and 50 wood. They've just had a baby, but they may well have another one, so I will give them the slot to do so. The Morrows, I will give them a slot. The Bowers are still desiring for a baby. And Conrad and Amabel are a new partnership, so I don't think that's a problem there particularly. Okay, back to the village. Let's get time ticking along again. We just used all our wood, but it's, I think, for a good cause. That being said, the carpenter's workshop may not have enough wood for what it needs. But it seems to be okay. Right, I just want to see if I can increase production on the wood even more. Not yet, but potentially in future we'll be able to do that. We do need to keep an eye on our meters here to make sure things don't go too terribly wrong. We finally found a job that Melizen is somewhat decent at. She's not great by any means, but she's okay. Because really we can't build anything new until we get the wood. We can make things cheaper with our builder's tickets, but we need a bunch of wood for pretty much all our new buildings here. So I'm really keen to kind of increase these as best I can. I'm going to hold on to my clothes because clothes is quite a small margin that we've got. So I think we don't want to deal with that just yet. I think we want to let time carry on. And we keep our clothes. We're doing okay for gold, actually. The thing we're struggling for now is wood, actually. Now, arguably, what is the most useful or most important thing? The Harvester's Barn gives us apples. I think probably we need jewellery next, the Jeweller's Workshop. That's the one I like to focus on. Which means we probably need a jeweller at some point. Is there a new... Okay, in 10 months we'll have a new potential... and some new potential people for us to incentivize to move in, and that will be useful. We're starting to get there in terms of wood. I could tax a bit more, but I honestly think we're doing okay for money at the time being. Edwig, I'm guessing, will get apprentice, kind of become... No! 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 Izoria, I'm so sorry. Oh, I don't think you were that old, were you? Oh, you died at 38. That's heartbreaking. Oh no. But what was your job? You had a home, didn't you? I swear you had a home. Poor weather, rancid food, loneliness, and many other dangers of a life of vacancy eventually took their toll on Izoria. Physical and mental health. Homeless though she was, Izoria was still an inhabitant of Lakeburg. Oh, Izoria, I'm so sorry. Faith has gone down. I'm guessing that's because someone just died. Who's homeless then? Okay, first of all, Alasdair's come of age. We'll deal with that in a second. I need to kind of work out what's happened in general. No one's home. Okay, Alasdair's homeless, but I don't quite... to my knowledge, Izoria wasn't homeless. Okay. Right. Okay, so... Where was Izoria working? Oh, she was working in the pleasure house. That might be why. Might be why she was working. Might be why she died. Oh, that's sad. Okay. I want to see if I can move any of the people from the Hunter's Cabin out. Sabine, Rose, or Conrad, would any of you be good in the pleasure house? Sabine, Rose, and Conrad. Sabine would, 2.5 in your pop, Sabine. Hopefully you don't die. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Izoria. Oh, that's sad. That fixes the faith problem, and Alasdair can come in here and produce some leather and meat for us. Oh, that's kind of sad. But now we can get, what, 2 new people in? Because Rolf is... Lorelli here is by herself. Do we get her a new partner? Because then... Because she's 56. How is she healthy? She's divorced and she's heartbroken and widowed. I'm not sure we give her a new partner. How's her health? She's still quite healthy. She could probably do with a new partner, if only just to keep her somewhat happy. So we'll see if we can find her a partner that she get on well with. Like Loop here. Good name, Loop. Loop would be a decent carpenter, a decent lumberjack, and a decent prankster. Honestly, welcome aboard, sir. Both of those are useful jobs. So they both like gossip, but they dislike silver and gold and flowers. And eventually we can maybe get a Loop a new partner when Loretti eventually passes away. I want to say gossip's a plague on any civilized society. No, that's the wrong one. But to be direct poetry is a waste of time. Wonderful. And we'll say the flowers. Nope. One. I don't think they're going to have any children anyway, so for me that's not a huge problem. We'll get them married anyway. And then maybe we can switch out Loop for Bruce. Bruce, what else are you good at? You're good as a butcher or an innkeeper. At some point Sigisbert will pass away as well. Emelina could be a decent lady of the evening. A lumberjack or a mason. So we might move people around a bit. I think we'll try and move people around a bit. But mason and miner are not the same thing, and I need to remember that. Calanth, you could be a mason or a miner. Okay, so I'm going to switch you out. And you're going to go to the mason's workshop, Calanth. No, that's the one I was just in. Go to the mine. We're doing a little bit of corporate reshuffle. And then I'm going to take... not Bruce. Hang on. Loop was good carpenter, lumberjack, or seamster. So I'm going to take Emelina out, I think. Was it Emelina that I wanted to take out? Because she's a mason. So if I take her out and I put Loop in, it's a little bit less wood, but not by a huge amount. And I put Emelina in here. It's a bad ambiance, but they'll still get the job done. They're two very competent masons. I might even increase their production because I think we need stones for a lot of our buildings, and because there's a bad ambience there, that's I think a good thing to do. We've got a couple of children I think who are unemployed at the moment. Calvin, you'd be a good priest, a king, or a merchant. Well, I don't think I can send you to go with the king as an apprentice because, well, Edwig has that title. Mentorship, Calvin potentially. I mean, he's not really a builder, but he might be able to do a decent job. Because Milo is now 53 and not in great health. Could he mentor? How long can he mentor for? Because Calvin's 7 now. I don't think Milo's going to stay alive for another 11 years, just looking at things here. Is there anywhere better we could put Calvin? Let's take Calvin out of there just for a second. Anything else we could... No, not the pleasure house. Definitely not the pleasure house. Could he go anywhere else? Could he go in like the carpenter's workshop or something? He could be a carpenter in time. We've got plenty of carpenters here. I'll put Calvin in to train as a carpenter. And who needs love? Alasdair needs love. What do we need? We've now got enough lumberjacks. What's the next major building that we're going for? We're going for the jewelers. So I want a jeweler, really. A jeweler of any kind. Okay, Alasdair, let's find you a jeweler to marry. Not like someone who kills people, but a jeweler, someone who makes lovely jewels. So we're just going to slowly... Oh, you'd be a really good match for each other, wouldn't you? But we don't need any of those... Do we need a farmer? Let me go back and see the farm. I mean... Oh goodness, okay. Sigrid is about to die. She really does not have long at all. Well, it seems that we do need a farmer. Goodness me. Okay, go to couples. I really hope we can still find the same person. Yes, we can. Excellent. So they like dueling, they like fashion, but they dislike flowers. They like dueling, so that's the first one. Wonderful. They dislike... I'm going to talk about the latest clothing trends because I think they like dancing. Wonderful. And they dislike flowers, so I'm going to say go with the muscles. 3 for 3, look at that. They can produce plenty of kids. I would hope anyway. Because the old generation is starting to move on, so to speak. So now we just wait for the sad inevitability of the death of Sigrid, and then we'll replace her with Geneva. Because she's not got long in this world. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, she really doesn't have long at all. Is there any temporary job I can put you in? 494 for wood. And we'll just have to find a new jeweler when the time comes, I think. Oh, Azoria, that was a sad event, wasn't it? How's Sabine Self doing? She's also weak and on the way out. So, I think the next two people, the next couple that we want to find, I would say, would be someone who can work as a lady or a man of the evening in the pleasure house, and also someone who can make us jewellery. Next recruitment's in 3 months, 3 days. We're nearly getting there. And I don't think anyone's coming of age just yet. I mean, Pavetta's 13, Louise is 15, everyone else is a bit younger. We've got a few babies coming in, and we just had a new one. Grace, we've got Sigisbert. Hello, Sigisbert. Sigisbert would be a good croupier, a thief, or a healer. Well, we might, when we get the healers, the healing house, that might do enough for us. We can put him as an apprentice in there. We've got enough beds, but I don't think I want to sell that. Let me just go to the houses and the Sigisbert, that's the Ehrlich family. Where's the Ehrlich family? There you are. Ehrlich family, you just had Sigisbert. I will unlock you a new slot. You don't have a wish yet, but you could still have another baby. I'm not sure what, at one point, kind of, you're too old to have children anymore. At least in this game, it might not be the same as kind of everything else. Milo is also on the way out. People are starting to pass away, and it's rather sad. That event with Azoria was really sad. I guess that's a slight effect of working in the pleasure house, I would assume, anyway. I wonder if there's more that we can do with kind of the king and queen. We'll have to see as time goes on how things go there. Right, we're doing okay in terms of kind of weapons and stuff. We've actually got plenty of storage for those. We just need a little bit more wood, but we are getting there at some point. Wonderful. We'll speed up time, wait for the inevitable death of someone at least. I mean, Sigurd's not far off. And Sybil, how are you doing? You're healthy. You've got a bit of time in the rat's nest. That's okay. Keep time going on, and we got our first kind of event. I was just saying how we needed an event with the king and queen, but here we go. The Boar's Ball. The king asked the court to help organise the castle's upcoming reception. Lakeburg is welcoming Glenwood's nobles, and they need to be impressed at any cost. Conrad and Esther have a few ideas. I'm guessing we're going to have to choose either Conrad or Esther's idea. Conrad would like to reinstate the great 42 Boars banquet. Meat, meat, and more meat. Goodness me, are you Henry VIII? I think you might be. Alongside alcoholic beverages, gambling games, and caber tossed to entertain. Toss that caber. For her part, Esther would like to organise a flowers ball, elderflower juice, fine dining, troubadours and romantic ballads, which would honour the year's bountiful harvests. Now Godwin hesitates. Which to choose? Conrad and Esther Conrad and Esther don't like each other, that's for sure. We can either get prestige or money. And to be honest, Conrad, as much as I like the idea of a Henry VIII reenactment, I'm not sure it's the best idea. So I'm going to choose this one. And we get a bit more prestige as well. A few weeks later, Lakeburg's castle started to bloom. Garlands of azaleas, bouquets of... Oh my goodness, these flower names are going to kill me. Hydrangeas, wreaths of roses and buttonholes of lilies adorned doors, windows and people. Bards and the Lakeburg Theatre Company were acclaimed, and Lakeburg's cultural reputation went way beyond the kingdom's borders. Still, the lack of alcohol seemed to frustrate guests a little. Could we not have chosen a compromise between the two of you? Like, we have some alcohol, we have some meat, but we also have, like, you know, flowers and elderflower rosé and stuff as well. I guess not. And would you believe Esther and Conrad are not too thrilled with each other? But I feel like I didn't want to create enmity between the king and queen, because that's not going to go very well for us, I would say. Oh, we've got another new baby. The Pfeiffer family. Ah, so this is Conrad and Amabel. And they have... Not again. Oh no, this is Sigrid. Poor weather, rancid food, loneliness, and many other dangers from a life of vacancy eventually took their toll on Sigrid. Physical and mental health, homeless though she was. I really don't think she wasn't homeless. It seems that when they die, they all just go and die on the streets. Can't they die in their own homes? Right. We expected Sigrid to die. We preemptively expected Siegfried to die, which is remarkable kind of forethought on my part, because normally I wouldn't even do that. Just looking at the buildings, if I chuck in a bunch of tickets, I can actually get this quite cheap. So potentially we get Rose to marry a jeweller. Someone who can make jewellery, or a rat trainer. That would work. Because how's our rodent's nest doing? Sybil's still healthy though, she can stay in there for a while. I think we'll keep going then, in fact. Any of you jewellers? No, you're not. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get Rose married to a jeweller. As lovely as it would be to have her marry someone that she really likes, I just need a jeweller, really. Colette would be useful, but I just don't think we need... we don't need Colette at the moment. We need someone who's willing to make us jewels, unless that goes under... I don't think that goes under blacksmith. I think it's a whole separate profession. Here's a jeweller, but they don't get on very well. And if I mess up the traits, they're never going to have a... Well, is she ever going to have children? That's the thing. She's healthy for now, but she's 52. I mean, they might end up divorcing. This couple's loves will tend to decrease. No, let's keep going. I'm sure we'll find someone a little bit better. If only because I want them to be efficient in their jobs. A bard, a teacher, a livestock farmer. Keep on going. I'm sure we'll find another jeweller eventually. I just need to make sure not to go too quickly down the list, because I just missed one. As I was saying it, I missed one. But I don't think they were a great match for each other anyway. We've got a few hearts to work with. We might just have to take the next jeweller that we see, even if they're not a great mix. Lowering my luck now, I'm not going to see a single one. Farmer, healer, bard. Come on, I've got 200 hearts to make this happen. Miner, fisherwoman, seamstress. Innkeeper, taster, butcher. Thief, croupier, fisherwoman, dancer. Baker, taster, mason. Farmer, butcher, merchant, priestess, queen. I've got no more hearts at the moment. Okay. So Rose is going to have to stay single for now. Any of you what I need? Baker, no, none of you what I need. But let's get that built anyway, because I might find someone who I can move around. I might find something I can move around, someone I can move around to go into the jewellery here. For example, Evander or Emelina. I'm not sure I need both of them. In fact, Rose is single, but she's a huntress. I need the huntresses. Can I afford to move anyone off their jobs? Evander as a carpenter. Emelina as a mason. Let's have a look. Let's start with the mason's workshop. We are producing enough. Emelina and their affinity's bad. I could arguably take them off there. The carpenter's workshop. How are we doing? I think I need to keep Evander in there because Bridget is not excellent at that. I mean, Bridget's not excellent at anything really, but we're just having to make do really. I think I'll move Emelina into the jeweller's workshop, and then we can maybe find someone new to go in here. But I'm going to up production quite considerably straight away with money. And that should just about produce enough for what we need. Excellent. She can produce 3 times a year. So now we've got that underway. What's our next building? Honestly, given how many people are dying, I'd like to get I think I'd like to get the hospital in next. Because we're kind of struggling a little bit with people moving on. When I get a few more hearts, I'll see if I can get a new person in to marry Rose. I'm not sure entirely what I need now. We'll just see if we can find someone that we should get on with. I think we will wait until we get a few more hearts before we manage that. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We've had a few unfortunate deaths. And of course, we can't forget Alasdair, the first death of the series in the previous episode. Goodness me. I think we will leave it off there. This has been a rather interesting episode with a few deaths, a few controversies, and I love this game. This is such a fun game. You get to see all these little things happening between your characters, your kind of all the people that go on here. We're about halfway through the game because I think we're on a 75-year game here. So we've still got quite a few more generations to go yet. And of course, our first ever baby, Hubert, is now 32. And we've got quite a few new children coming in as well. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Speaking of which, let's just make sure Elric gets somewhere useful. Elric would be a good guard, dancer, or assassin. Well, we don't have any of those. Would you be a good jeweler? Probably not. Let's go for unemployed. Actually, you would. You'd be pretty decent as a jeweler. And how old is Emily? Emily is 29, but we will probably need more jewels in the future. So I'm actually happy to put you in as an apprentice. That's okay. And that means we can have you be the second jeweler when we need it, or possibly even the third one. We'll have to see. But I think we will leave it there. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. More to come soon indeed. Take care. Bye-bye.